Okay, so the main card opened up with the featherweight clash between um Joe Anderson, Brito, and Bill Algio. And Brito came out like a frigging whirling dervish. He was landing some really big shots. He really was. And he picks up Algio, basically takes him a tour around the octagon, and then just slams him down. Huge takedown. Huge takedown. And you're like, damn, okay, right? It was impressive. It really was. Um, but Algio, you know what I mean? Busy from the bottom, and he's able to reverse, gets on top, land some big elbows, right? And I mean, coming into the second, you could see that Brito, he tied himself out, right? It was the takedowns and just loading up, man, because everything was coming with bad intentions, right? So from that point, Algio, he's using his range. He's using the jab, you know what I mean? Some kicks to the body, all of that, doing a very good job. And it's the volume because there's Brito, even though he's tired, he's clearly tired, right? He's still coming forward, still throwing those bombs. But Algio is doing a Diaz, man. You know what I mean? Just mad volume, not loading up at all, a load of volume, and just did a very good job to then control the fight and pull out a very good win. Very good win for Billy Algio. Um, so yeah, our debutantes, things aren't going as well for them, right? But we then jumped to the lightweight division. We had Dakota Bush against Vasalav Borshchev, right? Um, you know, uh, was another contender series fighter. Um, the Slava clause, right? So he looked great on the contender series. So you're like, oh, how's this gonna go? And Dakota Bush was just like, you know what? I don't give a fuck about your power, son. Came out, pressured, you know, Brusheslav, pressured him, landed huge shots, multiple takedowns. Now, Brusheslav was able to get back up, but Bush is just on him, wobbled him a few times, and it's just like shit. Dakota Bush is looking fire. Like this is the Dakota Bush that we'd seen in LFA, right? We'd seen just do his thing so well, and yeah, he's taking it. He's taking it to Brusheslav, but he goes for a takedown. Procechev stuffs it, spins off the fence, and rips a left hook to the body that whew, landed just in that perfect place. Perfect place. It's that kidney shot, right? We saw Jessica Andrade do it to Katlyn Chookagian, right? We saw she did it to someone else. I forget who. Right? It's like the gear kick. It's just one of those things that you get hit in that spot. It's done. You can't do anything. Right? And Bush just crumples to the ground and the ref saves him. It was it's crazy. It was crazy. And our first stoppage of the night, people. Funny enough, talking about Chikadze, right? She was in our featured bout against Jennifer Meyer, featherweight, going at it. No, flyweight. And it was a rematch, right? That Chikadze won the first time. So you're just by interesting. Now, Jennifer Meyer, since that loss, came back, put together a nice little win streak, fought the champion. Chookagian fought the champion too. But both of them are looking to get back in there, right? So this a win here puts you in a very good position. You know what I mean? And actually, it wasn't the featured bout. No, it was the fight before the featured bout. I don't think that has a title, but I think I said, like, in Chookagian's last fight, we had seen her finally kind of really put it together. Right now, Chookagian, she's always had the tools, right? She trains under Mark Henry, so obviously, what I mean, we know she can do her thing. Sometimes, though, we haven't seen the volume from her, but recently, that seems to have changed, and it continued. Maya was coming with heavy shots, but Chookagian was just using that range and footwork so well, man. Really able to avoid a lot of the big shots, land her jab multiple times, right? Keeping Maya off balance, really just doing her thing. And he like took her down a couple of times, I believe. But yeah, just mixing up, ripping to the body. It was a really good performance from Chookagian. And Maya, what I mean? Like, did everything her corner was telling her. Like, you didn't win that round. You need to come back. And in the third, she really came out with some heat. But Chookagian, what I mean, defended well, and yeah, got back to everything that was working. That jab, right? The volume, the movement. It was a very good performance. A very good performance from Katlyn Chookagian, people. So we then go to the featured, right? Which was Rogerio Bonterine against Brandon Royval, a flyweight fight. Man, this was an interesting one. Like Royval came out looking sharp, right? Doing all them things Royval does. But you know what I mean? I mean, the big thing with this was Royval. It's like as I said, look, sometimes Royval he pushes a little too much, right? And Bonterine is able to take him down, but on the ground, Royval just always moving, right? Landing elbows, just doing his thing. And the big thing of the fight, the closest to finish it was Royval, because he had Bonterine in a very nice armbar. A little controversial as well, because I mean, it's so difficult, right? Because you look at it, there was a moment, and it did look like Bonterine maybe tapped, right? But it's like one of them things where you look at the footage multiple times. Sometimes you think, oh, I think that was a double. Sometimes you, oh, no, that was just a single. It's a complicated one, right? But no one picked up. Fight continued, and yeah, Bonterine, continued to take Royval down, but Royval, busy, reversed a few times, and Royval was able to get the split decision win. Didn't look overly pleased, right? And he even said, yeah, I rushed a few times, right? Put myself off balance, let him take me down. I need to work on that. It's definitely a thing, but I'm not mad at that decision. I do believe Royval was doing the most damage. And as I said, when you look at it, he was the one that came closest to ending the fight. So we then had our sole heavyweight clash of the night, right? Chase Sherman against Jake Collier. And this fight was crazy. It wasn't a long fight. It was a crazy ass fight. Both of these dudes were throwing. Both were throwing some big shots. You know, Collier was like, like, not necessarily rushing, but really just pushing forward and just throwing. Sherman, you can see Sherman had a more refined striking style, right? So he was keeping composed, getting into space, landing big shots. Problem was, you know, Sherman's throwing some kicks, but they're not the fastest of kicks. You know what I mean? So Collier catched a kick and bundled Sherman to the ground, right? Gets on top, gets him to mount, and he's landing some big shots, dropping some big fucking elbows. So Sherman did the thing, right? Trying to avoid those elbows. He spun. He spun round. And you see, look, he's trying to get up, but it's not protecting the neck, people. Not protecting the neck. And you saw Collier like put an arm under. And the problem was Sherman's not fighting it. As soon as you feel the arm go by your neck, you need to grab it to stop that from getting right underneath, because then you got problems. It's not over, but you got problems. And you just, Sherman, he's not fighting the arms, not fighting the arms. So Collier was able to just get the arm underneath the chin, sink in that rear naked, and that was all she wrote. So yeah, there you had it, people. You know what I mean? Our second finish of the night. You know what I mean? All fun fights though. Fun fights. But now we go into the main event.